What was that? No idea.
I'm sorry in advance. You're such an idiot.
What's happening out there?
Rude little
Am I drunk? No, you're not. I heard that too. Whoa. What the hell? Son of the fuck? What's going on? No clue. Ow. What in the fucking... Good evening, gentlemen. Oh, a new face. I welcome the good sir to mine humble establishment. Come in and rest thine weary body and... What? Know what? Fuck this. Hello, come in. Their table. Have fun. Oh, yeah, thanks. Hey, do you mind? Oh, no, by all means, take a seat. Thank you. By the way, would you happen to know what that shaking was all about? Shaking? Haven't a clue. Okay. Anyway. This is so stupid. Anyway, hello dear viewers. I came here today bringing you another story of mine. Have I told you this one before? Of how I single-handedly saved a kingdom from ruin? Well, almost. Wait, who the hell even are you? I don't want to hear some random story from a complete stranger. Perfect. Well, listen closely then, for it began about a year ago. Are you even listening? Back then I was thrown into managing a castle and running all sorts of errands for a bit until about half a year ago I was given a choice. Hello? Choose this side and murder them, or choose this one and murder them. Well, obviously I'm gonna start with what I assume you could call the good path, going with the people I already know. Let's hear it then. Wonderful, glad you're on board. Wait, so you are listening. Which brings me to chapter 7, after wondering why the game muted itself. That aside, I'm having a hard time telling where exactly I am right now, since the Abbey doesn't ring any bells. I don't think that place came up in this or any other Stronghold game, so take it for what it is. It's there on the map for anyone interested, and since it's in the name, defending the place. Also, enough story, time is of the essence here. And as is tradition, I obviously start with very limited manpower, both on the military and civilian side. But that's kinda the point, no? So is changing the camera angle right away and not noticing that it's slightly crooked for the majority of the mission, which now greatly annoys me every time I take a look. You're welcome. After that, it's the same old building a castle things, like some food and then wood, off to a flying start. How am I so shit? Now, I'm not gonna bore you with every exact detail, like these phenomenal facial animations. What the hell is this and why is he French? Me mocking my troops.
Yes, Liege.
Yes, Liege.
Or how I almost blocked off the one bridge on the map with a building that doesn't even have any proper use yet. Not even mentioning how my other estate has a bit of a food crisis. That's not even my estate. Lucky me, not my fault then. But being the good and generous person that I am, I changed that post-haste. And now I can provide food, with no ulterior motive at all. And I am a good person, since I only intend to sell that instead of heating it up and dropping it onto people's heads. Or worse. Even I have a conscience, sometimes. I mean, I'm not sure what the buyers are gonna do with it, but it's probably not building roofs. What else? Maybe my misclicking adventures? Repeatedly recruiting the wrong units? Yeah, sounds like me. I am not doing well, am I? But all that aside, let me get to the core of the current objective. These guys and their arguments why I should let them in. And my answer is obvious. No. And as with so many other things in life, diplomacy is not how it's gonna go. Now, this first wave is not that big of a threat as long as you use your defensive tools properly, if you get my hint. Apart from that, there is only one thing of note. Priorities. Those guys down there, not a problem. Yet. But once those guys get to the wall and put down their vertical scaling implements, very much a problem. Evacuate that part of the wall, please. But I also don't want to give my archers too hard a time, since they will now have to live with the consequences themselves, so to speak. And that's that. Now, the only thing that really changed from the first to the second round is that I discovered a place to get stone from. Oh, there. I was wondering why there's no stone. Well, never mind, there is. It's a bit obfuscated with the camera like this, but even at the default angle it's hard to see. The second wave only has marginally more units in it, but they make use of a different approach. Instead of only trying to scale the walls, they also try to make the walls disappear. Now, all that amounted to in the end was one less Fletcher workshop, since that one took a direct hit. Poor guy, out of a job, bummer. But let's have a toast to the accuracy of trebuchets, or rather lack thereof. With that over, I'd like to claim that that was the worst part of the wave, but let's just say they got a lot further in than I would like. Once you have to start leading them back outside so your archers can actually do shit. Yeah, I don't have to explain further, I don't think. My bad. But it got me thinking, and a bit prior an idea hatched in my mind. What if I built a second wall and left a small gap in between the two of them? With the idea being that the ladder carriers will kinda waste their ladders on the outside wall. Said and done, and apart from the special behavior of the removal tool, yes, I wanted to make a huge hole in the wall. There was only one small issue. It would appear that units can just walk over a 1-block gap for some reason, which seems very much limited to this one mission and its wall. I have no clue how this happened. So bigger gap it is, and since I don't want to deconstruct and waste the pitfall traps, I just leave them. Something that surely would never backfire, right? Right? Well, the third wave is here to find out. And while most ladder carriers chose the outside wall and the pitfalls did see some visitors, once they were spent, if you can call it that, it only left 2 giant gashes in the wall that allowed ladders to be placed inside. Gashes I couldn't close since there were enemies nearby. Oops. However, if I might be so bold as to utter some criticism here, why do they not prioritize that? There's enough of them present to knock the ladders over the second they're placed anywhere along the wall. Why do they wait till they get hit in the face with a pike or a sword? Or clobbered over the head with whatever else an enemy can potentially bring up with them? Sure, melee units can be mixed in to fulfill that role, but they also tend to behave in erratic ways. And you'll soon know exactly what I mean by that. Thank you for listening, back to it. On the topic of brain, the enemy seems to have even less of it than I do. Wait, what? They turned the siege into a shooting range. Like, literally. Stationary targets and ranged whack-a-mole included. But within the remaining swordsmen and ladder carriers, something broke. They started to take the wildest routes and detours up and down the ladders repeatedly like they were playing snakes and ladders or something. I don't know what it was about that setup, but even some of my archers lost their mind. Running through enemy lines just to then mount the outside wall and push ladders over, potentially trapping themselves. What the hell is going on? Again, the priorities are all over the place, and this is definitely my army. What if there's another attack? Like, I can't remember this mission. Never mind. There's my answer. Well, here is wave number 4. And if you cast your gaze to the wall, there are still ladders leaned against it and there are still 2 massive gaping holes. My mind be like Swiss cheese sometimes. And while I did notice it in time, there is a bit of a pickle. See, you cannot build over a ladder, but you can encase it in stone apparently, that's fine. And as luck would have it, there is one smack in the middle of that hole. Meh. The solution is rather unintuitive. Make the hole wider so that the ladder vanishes into the void. Then fill it back in. Nice. Let's see if it works. For real this time. And wouldn't you know it, they brought out the trebuchets again. So I'm gonna sign some archers up for a marathon. A rather dangerous one, but with one guy being all fired up it seems. I mean, look at him go. For you see, the problem for me with trebuchets is not their potential to breach the wall. So with their accuracy, that would take a long time. No, the main problem is best described as fireworks. Great. That's great. Yep, that's great. Sure, off a wall they might survive. Unless they do what I demonstrated last time. Which, to be fair, is very likely. Off a tower? Not so much. Meh. Although that's not a problem here for lack of towers. What a cheap castle I've built. However, the double wall itself is doing exactly what I planned. Why my archers sometimes insist on going out there, I don't know. Ladders probably. A mystery for the ages. One potential unforeseen issue though is the combination of pathfinding issues and fireworks, since that has the potential to launch enemy swordsmen over the inside wall straight into my courtyard. Picture something like this, but without consent. With all that being said, I'm just gonna let the next little bit play out with only a few cuts since I have no more words for it. No? Where the f are they going? Stop. This is stupid. Yes, sire. Crying out loud. Could you guys stop faffing about? Just stay on this wall. This is phenomenal. Honestly, go ahead. Get yourselves killed. Don't give a shit. This is just stupid. Back over there, now. Could you stop? I need 2 door houses. Probably I need stairs on the outside as well, because I am so looking forward to them getting stuck on the outside wall. I'm just waiting for it. And that was attack number 4, meaning just 1 more left. Until then, this whole fuckery continued unabated, slowly driving me up the wall. Where the fuck are you going? At some point, I just decided to let them do however they please, deciding to instead focus fully on recruitment, strength in numbers or some such. If they wanna be suicidal, I just need more of them to compensate for that. Huh? Oh, yeah, totally forgot that that's a thing here. Yo, what up? Yes, I'm aware that it's not about getting as many people as possible killed. What do you take me for? Fair enough, but why only call now? The demonstrations are already... Wait, they are suicidal. They not only run straight into the enemy, they even lean off the walls. Or more like hover next to them like some fame-hungry influencers when... What an influencer is? In the context of medieval times. A bard maybe? Traveling bard? Yes, I'm aware that that word didn't exist. Wasting time? Yeah, I guess so. I'm gonna get back to it then. Yes, noted, thanks. Bye. That might be the first time we agree on something. Where was I? Oh, yeah, time for the final attack. Even though my focus is somewhere else, apparently. Like on the map it looks usable. Why is the map crooked? That kinda annoys me. And to absolutely no one's surprise, it's very special. It's a big wave, trebuchets included. But thanks to me being prepared for once, they can't do much before going down. Crisis averted, or so you'd think. Have you noticed how no one else is moving? Well, so have my compatriot. What is this creature? Please tell me that's not supposed to be Lady Saren.
Latrine, alright, I must talk with you. Latrine, Latrine. Ah, no. Oh, it's you.
And that's what William fell for? Although, looking back, yeah, that kinda checks out. What a lovely couple. I just hope they didn't try to animate poor Matthew. That's me! Oh, sorry. There was an attack or something? See, that very special thing about this wave? Reinforcements.
That is what they were waiting for. Reinforcements.
The French dude makes a dramatic entrance. Well, kinda. Which would make this a very difficult mission indeed, had I not already worked my way through a good portion of the Green Army. Now, my troops outside the gates. Well, I should say archers, since, you know. The idea was to go outside, kill, well, destroy the trebuchets and then go back inside. However, all of my actions had some unintended side effects. The enemies seem to have developed a sort of taste for unarmored ranged units with no cover to speak of. What I'm trying to say here, I had the majority of the enemy melee units chasing my group of archers around the front lawn like a very morbid game of tag. It's a bit of a dead end, isn't it? And yes, some of them split off. And yes, they did put ladders down. And yes, they made it onto the inside wall. And yes, they did kill some of my guys there. But their numbers were so small that I decided to just ignore those and instead do drive-by, run-by attacks outside. Fire one volley at that and leave. Which worked rather well. Run, stop and fire, run, stop and fire, you know how it goes. And even though they did in fact breach the wall this time, there was nothing gained from that since there was basically no one left alive to take advantage of it. There's a hole in the wall. Huh, hole gone. Destroying evidence. I mean, the winner writes history, there never was a breach. And with that, this pathfinding show came to an end.
His Majesty the King.
I'm gonna spare you the exact details here, but I, or rather Matthew, chose his words rather poorly if you couldn't tell and has gotten very close to being shortened. But the king doesn't seem to mind overly much, so yeah. Victory! And that's how all that went down. Okay, nice story and all, but how exactly did that save the kingdom now? Seems all you did was defend some ancient memorabilia or something. Well, this is only the beginning of... Excuse me, hey, are you guys about done? I'd really like to log up for the night. Yeah, just about. A few more minutes. Okay. Where was I? Ah, yes. Well, this is only the beginning of that part of my adventure. It's now time to strike back, you know? Okay, sure, but I don't really have time for another... Here I go. No, I should have known. Chapter 8 then. Okay. Remember how Matthew left after... Oh, I cut that out, didn't I? Well, he left before the previous chapter to go and keep his brother in check. You know, French dude? While Lady Saren sent the old-timer, Sir Grey I believe, to look after him. The fact, however, that French dude was able to take part in the battle earlier tells me that that was met with moderate success at best. I mean, he did manage to keep him in check, yes. By putting him under house arrest using the loudest catapult in the known universe. Thanks for respecting the volume slider, much appreciated. Just a joke. Dude, was that loud? And with all our eardrums collectively blown, where the hell am I? Welcome to Chapter 8. This camera position is supposed to convey the current objective. Essentially, get a move on. That kinda fell on deaf ears with me, however. Get it? Get it? See, I kinda expected the timer in the top left to be, well, the actual time I have left to get it done. So I casually started building out the castle, once I actually found the correct one. What castle? This castle? and took my sweet time getting an army ready. There is, however, 2 issues with that. Issue 1. William is still the same old unpredictable shithead we all know and love and tolerate. See, even though I've played this game so much, I haven't played this mission in years. So I wasn't ready for him to just throw caution and everything else to the wind and run outside.
I refuse to die like a rat in a hole. Charge!
Don't be stupid! He is stupid! Well, I wasn't ready yet, but the enemies very much were. And so to absolutely no one's surprise, it didn't end all that well. Okay, that's not gonna end well. Let's do that again. Okay, maybe let's not do that again. This time I'm hurrying the whole thing along a bit more. See, I had an idea even on the first attempt. If I can get rid of the siege weapons so that they don't breach the wall, which would still be easily possible since it's only a wood wall, it should prevent William from being stupid. Unless that's a timed thing, but I was gonna cross that bridge when I got there. So I rushed to the side. I ambled to the side. And thanks to the trebuchets being in a completely different spot and denying me easy access, I'm gonna get to show that to you in attempt 3.
I refuse to
Oh,
die
shit.
like a rat in a...
Settle out. Good. Our bulls grow impatient.
I hate this noise, it's horrible.
We are on our way.
He's already dead. Okay, again. No, don't even. Instead of regular archers, I figured this time I'm gonna go for the horseback variety since they are faster and can fire while moving. Just the 2 things I might be needing here. There's a reason these guys are my favorite unit. Now, not to drag this out too much, but with a bit of finagling and a lot of kiting, I managed to destroy the trebuchets this time. After that, I spent quite a few minutes slowly getting rid of all the enemies. This is so stupid, I love it. And here is where issue 2 comes up. I may or may not have only read the first part of that assignment. Rescue William. Sure, easy enough at this point. And I even get all his remaining units. Nice. The second part is a bit of a problem though. Remember, he is also a lord. And as we've established in the past, they are very, very not fast. Huh, that rhymed. So the end result? Yeah, he only made it about halfway before that. Yep. Okay, this is getting ridiculous at this point. So same thing again. Hurrying to get units, trying to save William from being stupid, never mind. Calling him names it is. No, stay in there you dipshit. To say that this went a bit worse than before would be a gross understatement. Sure, William is alive and on his way this time with plenty of time left. But neither he nor I have all that many troops left and I got chased all the way back into my own territory here. Not a great start, but at least I made it here this time.
So, Matthew, you saved me for the second time.
Yeah, nice story, let's continue. So, is everything nice and dandy now? No, I did still make a mistake. I should have used up as much of this timer as possible. Why? Simple. I have wondered for the past few attempts who all these other people are. Sure, I know Mr. Frenchman on the far left, but who in the world are the other 3? Never heard of any of them. The guy northeast is clearly hostile since he attacked William and I, but what about the other 2? Are they A, allies that will help me defend since one of them is only a stone's throw away and is not attacking me? Are they B, neutral since they haven't done a thing at all thus far and haven't attacked either side? Or are they C, fully hostile since all this is enemy territory and I should have assumed that the only reason they held off until now was that it would make the mission impossible and they are just waiting for William to make it into my castle to launch into an attack? Yes, exactly the one you think. Oh no. Yeah. I don't have much of an army, nor do I have much money, so I resort to what I can only describe as an terrorism. Now, I'm the first to admit it was the wrong choice of equipment which got destroyed rather quickly without doing much of anything. Oh, great. The ballista that came after, way better. It allowed me to just snipe people off the towers, the doorhouse, the walls, the keep. Love it. Although, small thing to note here. There are so many military units in range, yet it always goes for the civilians first. See, I'm not the problem here. Huh. Anywho, with this thing I can actually directly attack the man himself. Duke Demon, actually no, never mind. I don't want to get into hot water for butchering names. Here, yellow dude, that's his name now. I can attack him and everyone else up there, except for that one archer who just takes these bolts to the face like they're a slight breeze.
Don't do that.
But seeing as this would take ages, this will take a while. Different approach needed. What that entailed was raising funds to have a catapult constructed, using said catapult to dig through the admittedly thickest part of the enemy wall, and then having archers take up position inside and do their best to yeet arrows up there. Granted, at that speed they should not pose too much of a danger to plate armor, but what do I know? And after a few minutes of that, he and all his assets vanish from this dimension. That's 1 down, 2 to go. However, at this point I haven't even found the third one, but trust me, he's there. It only took me about 10 minutes and a few units to realize that that's him. Oh, I see, that's a fort. That's the third guy, I see now. I don't mean to offend a noble, but what the f is this? A quick cleanup, that's what it is, I thought. Is this a bandit camp? Just one problem. I can't get inside and he won't come out, but I have just the thing for that. All I need here is a small gap to fire through, but the way that gets created is fascinating. Careful, the wood is melting. I haven't a clue how this is supposed to work, but sure. Tear it down, my man. Now, you would expect the same outcome as before, but no. The structures don't vanish, nor do the remaining troops. Oh, sorry, troop, singular. I actually have to capture this one. And yeah, it makes more sense, but it's actually the odd one out. Which brings me to the last of the 3, the largest and most well-defended castle present. And I will show you that it is not about the size. And we all know what that calls for. Trebuchet barrage. Yeah, yeet. How? The accuracy, like always, leaves something to be... actually a lot to be desired, so I'm gonna compensate for that. The accuracy is horrible, I love it. Yes, past me, that's exactly why. More. And with more in place, it's my turn to celebrate with some fireworks. Now, to do that a couple more times. I was very happy, okay? But one more thing. Look, I do get why they would launch like that when on a wall and getting hit by a massive boulder. I mean, who wouldn't? But a collapsing tower? What in there causes them to fly off like that? I mean, no other building does that. Here, see? They just descend gracefully to the ground below and that's that.
There's a bone sticking out of your foot, sir.
And no, I'm not complaining. I enjoy watching this just as much as... oh. I despise this just as much as anyone else would. A peaceful resolution to this, that's wishful nonsense. And with most of the towers and their ballistas... ballistae? Ballistae? Just dodge these. Well, with most of them gone and coincidentally the entire wall and most buildings on that side inconspicuously absent, time for the archers again. Pretty much the same thing as before. Clearing out the defenders and then the master of the castle, bringing this mission to a close. Ayy. And finally the time has come. French dude, Pascal, Hawk, call him whatever. I don't know how far it'll go, therefore capture, but I'll soon find out. Since the bridge is not yet done, I might as well launch some greetings across the channel. How about instead of defending, right? For that some range scouting is required, and boy do I suck at that. Wait, why is it in range of these two now? After a bit of effort on my end and this guy dodging and taking more than his fair share of oversized bolts, I was ready. Bring forth the trebuchets once more. I mean, I might as well, and knowing the game it won't just be a peaceful bridge building operation.
Bridge is finished, sire. The Hawk approaches.
See? Told you. That timing is... not great. Well, as luck would have it, here we go. In this case I'm just gonna take the bridge under fire. This was in fact very much non-ideal, but the relative speed of the units did wonders for me. Fast but rather squishy units running out ahead, with the heavy ones being, well, slow and heavy. Now, losses were inevitable, both in man and machine, but it was quite reasonable. It's a bit short-ranged, but it works. And as is often the case, you can easily tell when you did something unintended. Siege weapons being brought out right as the last soldiers leave the battlefield. I can't tell you why I got rid of my remaining trebuchets there, especially with the task of getting into that castle still in front of me, but whatever. Me idiot is known.
He is holding back, sire. Maybe there are yet more troops to come.
No. Yeah, thanks Mr. Military Advisor guy, but no, he broke. I'm sure this was supposed to be similar to last mission where the enemy waited for reinforcements. Though me taking out a large portion beforehand was most likely not in the script for that. Nor was me taking out one entire army here most likely. But that does mean that it's not over just yet.
You didn't start without me, did you?
Ah, here we go. Big entrance on the Scotsman. I shouldn't have done that. Over there, quickly. Too bad for them though. They're running into a remake of the 300 from part 1. Now, I'm more than happy to report that once more I have very much broken the order of things. The dialogue is going all over the place.
Sire, to the south!
I fear all hope is lost.
As you once told me, William,
Where's the south now?
you pair have not seen the last of me. No one gets the better of the clan McCoy. Barclay, launch your assault. That would be convenient for you.
I want to give an honorable mention to that large group of knights on horseback who I'm sure were supposed to be the big saviors. Yeah, sorry guys, but all that's left was a handful of letter carriers. Yeah, my bad. Have fun on the return trip. And since all that remains now is a repeat of the other castle, I gave some orders and stepped away. It was a total of 10 minutes, so I had a drink, had a meal and went for a wee. Good times, for one side of this ordeal anyway. Now I can just walk in and tear the place apart to my heart's content. Pitfall traps be damned, what? Wait, what did they even need the bridge for? A shallow puddle is what that is. Sure. Interesting. But to say that my invasion increased the population a tiny bit would be a gross understatement. This feels quite cramped now. Although with a bit of strategic unit placement, they can fit into a much smaller space. Let's make a huge pile of people. Which marks the end of the hawk. This whole spiel here revolves around us being at the mercy of the egghead, but I don't quite believe that. Just a feeling though. A 300 unit strong feeling. But in terms of story, Sir Grey shows up with reinforcements sent by the king and gets shot by Barclay for it. Huh. Well, that's a bit shit. Leaves a bad aftertaste, that's for sure. Don't like it. And that was the second leg of this trilogy of sorts. Yeah, okay, that is quite shit. And now what? Kingdom saved? Can I leave now? Well, no, not yet. One more thing left. Let's get to the grand finale. The big showdown. Is that gonna be the part with that almost you put on that one sentence? You're not wrong, but let me start at the beginning. No, I didn't mean to. Here I go. So, after putting the old man in the ground, the king, William and I marched on Barclay's castle to essentially cave his head in if at all possible. I'm very much not ready for this. It was to be a three-pronged attack with me, I think, pulling the shortest straw there ever was. Uphill from a beach, open to two sides, one of which has 4 armed towers. Thanks. For you see, throughout all the years I've played this game, I've never actually managed to complete this one. Not even once. Oh, not for a lack of trying, mind you, but for an apparent lack of competence. Yeah, me bad. Although, to be fair, I only ever tried a handful of times many years ago and then gave up for good. Maybe things are different now, but this is gonna be a steep uphill battle and learning experience for me. Pun intended. I'll also only give you a rough rundown on this other thing happening, with the flag-in-the-face Scottish man trying to backstab the king and getting summarily beaten to a pulp. Yeah, he no longer a threat, permanently. Not really my concern though. My concern is this. I gotta make it up this path, through that gate, through this one, and then finally through this one. Or alternatively through the respective walls. And then up at the top here, well, future crime scene. I'm very optimistic that with all the practice I had over the last little bit, I should not have too much trouble. Okay, running head first into the wall is not the way to go, so let me try again.
At your disposal.
And again. And again. And again? I'm sure that if I change my tactics up a little at a time, I should be able to eventually get through. Uh-oh. That, oh boy. Yeah, I had a bit of a struggle to wrap my head around this, and I realized that this might be the reason I gave up on it back then. Just a feeling. All I want to say is this. I keep getting further and further in, but with a total of 3 walls to breach, that will surely take a while longer to figure out, and whether or not I succeed in the end will be a topic for next time. And that's why I said almost. I mean, I did get quite far a few times if I do say so myself, but never with quite enough manpower left to get through the keep, so the results are still pending? Exactly, I didn't fail, I just didn't succeed yet. Sure thing. Well then, I bid thee farewell, my friend. Time for me to head back out and slam my face against a few more walls. See ya, I guess. Well, off I am. Ah! I hate this door so much. Wait, did he pay his tab? No, I don't think so. Oh, for fuck's sake.
What are you? Never mind. How exactly do you plan on getting the ship back out?
Huh? Easy. Bridge to fire control.
That's the wrong handset for that, you moron.
Oh, oops. Should we leave maybe? Yeah, I think we should.